Hello and welcome to the Medfleet Caregivers app. You can download the app using the Google Play Store if you have an Android or the App Store if you have an iPhone. If you don't have a smartphone, you can also access it using Google Chrome at m.medfleet.com on your computer, laptop or iPad. Once you have the app downloaded, you can press sign in. You sign in by entering your cell phone number. And then accepting the terms and conditions and pressing next. You will then be sent a 5-digit SMS code. After entering the SMS code, please press next. If you are signing into the app for the first time, you will need to enter your basic information, such as your name and your address. And if you're returning to the app, you'll just need to confirm your information is still correct. You're able to upload a profile picture if you want to, or you can press skip. This is the first page you will come to when you see the app. Sometimes we run competitions such as surveys and you have the opportunity to win a prize. If you'd like to have a chance to win the prize, you can start the survey. If you're not interested, I can simply click here and you can see the main screen of the app. Okay, so the first thing you're going to see is all of the cases that the agencies you work with have posted. Here I can see that I have 2 cases. I have this case here that I've already requested, and I have this new case here that wasn't there the last time they went into the app. I'm going to go into this case and see if it's of interest to me. Once I click into it, I can see a little bit of information. Okay, I can see the location of the appointment. I can press on the little car symbol to see how far it will take to get from my house to the appointment. I can see how far it will take to walk, how far it will take on public transport, etc. So this will give you a really good idea as to whether this is a case you might be interested in taking. You can see the type of case it is. So in this case, it's a single visit. It's not a recurring visit. It's just happening one time. You can see the details. It's an HHA visit. It's happening in Manhattan. You can see the date and the time of the visit. You can see any general notes here. So for example, this particular patient has 5 cats. So if you're allergic to cats, you might not like to take this case. However, if you love animals, this might be a good one for you. If you look at this and you still have some questions, you can always chat with your agency. And the agency member can chat back with you. You can also call your agency as well. If having reviewed all of this, the case looks good to you, you can go ahead and request this visit. Alternatively, you can reject this visit. I'm going to request it because I think it looks pretty good. Here we go, successfully requested. And if I go back to the other page, you'll see that instead of having new, it now has requested listed here. Now, these are the cases that are available to me, but I haven't been assigned to. If I want to see cases that I have been assigned to, I just click on this other tab on the right here. Here we go. Here are the things that I have been assigned to. You can see here as well that you can click into the visit details. Again, you can get an indication of how long it's going to take you to get there. You can see the patient's name because now you've got the case, you're allowed to see a bit more details. You can see the dates, you can see the location. You can see any forms that you're required to fill out if that's relevant. Here you can scan in any documents that you would like as well. Any general notes, you can do a report on the patient as well, depending on your agency. Some agencies like you to answer a few basic questions. You can clock in and clock out. So at the start of your visit, you'd press clock in, and at the end of the visit, you'll press clock out. Now, the great thing about Medfleet as well is that we do send you actual reminders before your visit, just to remind you to clock in and clock out. So here I am as well. I can get some more details on this patient. I can see the required tasks. I can see any medical notes. So this patient is blind and deaf. General notes has 2 cats. Again, I have the opportunity again to chat with the agency or call the agency if need be. The other thing I immediately see here is my training center. So agencies often use us to do the 12 hours of mandatory in-service that HHAs have every year. And they also usually use our in-service, even if you're a registered nurse or you are a CDPAP or something like that, and you don't actually necessarily usually need to do the 12 hours training that HHAs do. You also might have some training here like, sexual harassment training or something like that. So it's still really worth coming down here and looking at this training center and seeing if there's any little red numbers here. If there are red numbers here, it indicates that you have some training you need to do. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to scroll down, and I can see that I have this particular bundle on infection control. I have 1 hour and 47 minutes remaining, and I've already completed 15%. So you can see here I've completed part 1. So if I click into it, it's going to automatically take me to part 2, and here I am. I can click here. I can press play to start watching. I have some information here. I can see the date I need to submit by. I can see the amount I've watched. So I've watched 6%, and I can see that I'm required to watch 90%. You can see that if you try to sign to go forward without actually reaching that 90%, then it's going to give you a little bit of a pop-up warning, and then you have to watch the rest of the video in order to go forward. The other cool thing you can do here is you can press chat, and you can have clinical support. So if you press the clinical support button, that's actually going to take you to a chat with a member from your agency. So that's kind of if you have a question about the content of the in-service video itself, perhaps there's something that you don't understand and you want some more help with. Alternatively, you might actually have a technical problem, in which case you press technical support, and that's going to come through to us at MedFleet. The other thing you have down here at the bottom is you have a patients tab. You can see here in blue, and you have a list of patients that you have been servicing. So again, if you want to get some more information about them, you can do so here as well. You also have this chat function here, and again, you can chat directly from here as well. Now, a couple of other things you might have noticed at the top are these symbols here. So if you have a notification, so for example, if someone assigns, you've requested a case and someone assigns you to it, you're going to get a notification about that here. This little viral symbol here is a COVID screening. So if your agency is requiring COVID screening, you can either do a screening for yourself by pressing here, or a patient by pressing here. On the left-hand side here, is kind of the settings section. So you can go into your profile and you can make any changes there. So for example, if you've moved house, if you want to add your birthday, if you want to add an extra language, you can do so here as well. And the good thing about adding other languages as well is that, you know, we actually staff based on a caregiver's language. So if someone, based on a patient's language. So if a patient only speaks Spanish, we're only going to pair them with someone that speaks Spanish. If a patient only speaks English, we're going to pair them with someone that speaks English. To provide like kind of both the caregiver and the patient with the best experience. So you can update yourself here as well. This will have the certifications that you are listed as. You can upload documents to your MedFleet passport. So these are the compliance items that you are required to present every year. So for example, you've got the medical section here, which might be your flu vaccine or your annual physical or something like that. You also have things like general files, and they tend to be things like identification, for example, a driver's license or a passport, social security card, your HHA PCA certificate, or your nursing license or something like that tends to be here. And then you've got the MedFleet Home Care Agency as well. Here, this is the agency that I'm doing the demo from, but you will have the name of your agency. And if you click here, this will have any specific things that your agency requires. So for example, it might be like a reference letter or something like that. It's really agency specific as to what your agency will require from you. The other things you can do from here is you can contact support. So this is contacting MedFleet support for technical problems or technical help. We've got a whole variety of different ways you can contact us. So via WhatsApp, Facebook, email, live chat support, telephone calls. It is really whatever you prefer, whatever medium you prefer to contact us in, you can do so here. The other thing here that's really important is your case settings. So sometimes we get caregivers calling us saying, I don't know why I'm not seeing any cases. Often it's because of the case settings here. So let's say you are busy all day on Sunday. That means that anytime the agency broadcasts a case on a Sunday, you're not going to see it because you're not available. Makes sense, right? So the more availability you have here, you can slide across. Let's say on Monday, you're only available from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can set all that here, and you can come back and you can adjust it at any time. So this is fully customizable 24/7. You can come in here and change your availability. But I will say that the more availability you have, the more cases you're going to see. If you have availability 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you're going to see the maximum amount of cases possible. The other thing too is the maximum distance you're willing to travel. I mean, this is going to depend on where you live, of course. Maybe you're happy to only go 10 miles from your house. Maybe you're happy to drive a long way. Maybe you only want visits that are up to 8 hours in length. So you're not going to see in that case any kind of live-in shifts or things like that. So again, the more flexibility you have here, the more cases you will see. The other thing here is just like general settings. So notifications, social, referral codes, and your language. So the MedFleet app typically recognizes the language you have your phone set in. So for example, if you are a Spanish speaker and your phone is set to Spanish, our app is going to recognize that automatically. But if for some reason that doesn't happen, you can click here and you can change that manually. You can also see the version of MedFleet that you're running, so you can see whether or not you need to update that or not. If for some reason you want to sign out, you can do so here as well. And that will take you back to needing to enter your phone number and your code in order to enter again. Okay, so that is a basic synopsis of how to use MedFleet. Please don't hesitate to be in contact with your agency if you have any further questions. And of course, if you need technical support, to contact us using one of the methods that I described in this video.